Oh gosh. Okay. Just let me know when you're good on Twitch, Kevin.
Everything's great here. We're live and rolling.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. As as the smoke clears on a grueling battle, our ragtag group of adventurers are bloodied but unbroken. After choosing to side with the dragon Izzet, they traveled up north to Tranquility and its leader Orlando to ask some questions to him. But upon arriving, they noticed the crest for the Church of Ethos embroidered on his chest, and offensive tactics were taken. After the assault, Orlando was left in a fiery plume, and his plant monster was withered and with multiple stab wounds in its eyes. The town was now a shell of what it once was, but at least the production of the poisonous asp's kiss has been hindered at its source. As the troop catch their breath, they hear giant wings approaching and a loud roar heading towards them. Izzet is on his way and approaching fast. Coming, you see a hint of ash right next to Azazel of where Orlando used to be. You see next to some of these houses um, where those little Deku Babas were. They're withered all around. And up here is where the Marlborough was defeated by Henrik with, like I said, multiple stab wounds to its eyes and super withered away. Super withered away from all of the blights that it took. And you hear as the wings approach. What would you like to do?
Where is he? Did he legitimately burn that hot? Where's his body?
I think he's just ash now, huh?
That's unacceptable.
Did you need to keep like a memento or something, Henrik?
His body is charred, but there's enough there to do what you need to do.
Does he have a mouth? Does he have a mouth?
He has a head and a mouth, yes.
Wake him up.
His body is burnt to a crisp.
Wake him up.
Oh no, we're waking him up.
I think
Oh no, I'm gonna be sick.
Dewey walks slowly towards the corpse, and as the owls continue to surround him, he kind of snaps off the spiritual owls. But before that, they all stare at Azazel, and Dewey just utters out, "What the hell was that?"
sometimes a man can only take so much, and he just shoots flames out of his hands. I don't really know what else to say, man.
I mean, between that and whatever you cast on the plant over there, good job, I guess.
That? I just, I worked in a garden, and I realized there's this, it's a concoction. You get some vinegar, and you get some, it's like a dust. It comes from this one tree. Yeah, we don't have to talk about it. We killed the plant, we killed the man, and now I think I think we got to talk to Izzet.
Dewey, as he's talking to you, you see that he's basically bleeding from every hole in his body. His eyes are bleeding, his ears are bleeding, his nose is bleeding, his mouth is bleeding. Every hole that you can see in him, there's blood coming out of him. And he's just like, yeah, it's fine.
I don't want to know about the holes we can't see.
Yeah, what about the holes we can't see there?
I mean, you can assume.
I'm just sit in the water for a minute. I think I gotta sit for just a moment.
Dewey looks at the water streaking red behind you.
There is some steam coming off of it because he is still burning hot.
All right, I'm gonna reach out and hit him with just a slight level 1 cure wound, just to see if the blood stops.
It's funny too. I see the spiritual weapon floating around as you're saying. I'm gonna hit him with
wham. It's still floating.
Finish the deed.
But, yes, I forgot how to
Dewey, you had protection from poison, and then what was the other dot that you have on you?
Dot?
Is that aura of vitality?
I think that was just me dodging.
Oh, okay.
I'll take the dot off.
The Dewey dodge.
Dude, the classic Dewey dodge. All right, so I'll reach over and just give him a little cure wounds. For 9 healing. Does he heal at all? Or is
He
the
does.
blood still flowing?
The blood has stopped like flowing, but it's still like crusted on his body.
9
definitely
holes
feels
have
better.
closed.
Alright, is he like burning my hand when I touch him?
No, you touch his clothes and it
Okay.
is able to dissipate through.
I pat his
fine.
jacket a couple times. We'll work on that a little bit later.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
I need some more of that drink we had at the Dragon Village.
We'll get you that. All right, walk over to the body here.
Appreciate it, Dewey.
Yeah, we'll walk over to the body. Well, this sucks. We needed to get some more information out of him, and it would have been easier if his mouth wasn't in 2 different places here. I'm seem awfully spread, but I don't know. Is there anything you guys wanted me to ask him? Got a couple questions, but if there's
Do
anything
like
you've
the
been dying to know,
casual,
speak
like,
now or forever.
I'm gonna
rest.
want
Slide out of the way.
We should definitely ask him about the church, huh?
Ideally, yes.
You could ask him
Alright.
if he had a boat anywhere on the island.
I want to know how much he knew,
Oh yeah.
We need a boat.
how much he knew about the church, and I want to know where Graf is.
Just gonna do one of like the from
Um,
behind the cart.
Henrik, can you roll a history check for me?
Is this because he hasn't left the same place where he's always been?
No. It's more so of if you remember something from your past. Just a straight up 8?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so no.
Ouch.
How exactly does this the spell work again?
Speak with dead.
Oh, speak with that.
Yeah.
So I think I can actually do this and show you.
It induces vomiting for the squeamish of the party.
It is this.
Okay.
This is a 3rd level spell.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a pretty good spell.
That's pretty cool.
So we
It's
can
always
ask up to
prepared.
5 questions?
Yep, just
Yes.
make sure that the corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy.
Mhm.
So
And I've
perhaps-
Oh, the people that
I've
killed
tried
him might
mixing
think
this
he's an
with-
enemy.
It's true. And I've tried this with truth-based spells in the past, and none of it works because once they are this, he gestures at the ashes, they're no longer a person like you and me. They're something else.
Well, what if before we ask it the questions, one of us disguises to look like maybe a member of the Church of Ethos?
I can do that real easy.
Well, what one that he doesn't recognize as an enemy?
Would you like to take the helm on this one?
Do we know?
Can
Do
you
we
get
know
me
Doesn't
that
Dewey need to
cloak?
ask the questions though?
Oh,
Yeah, I think so.
Can you disguise
Well,
Gooey
I can
as
disguise
Gooey?
Dewey.
Can you disguise
yeah.
Dewey as someone?
Yeah. Have you guys have had some run-ins with Ethos in the past? Do you know of any
was gonna
big
say, why don't you-
players?
I'll just make him look like Erlin. We know what Erlin looks like.
we could do that.
Or you can make him look like a plant.
We can look like a giant plant.
Can you do that?
Yeah, let's. I guess
actually think
let's
the
do
plant hurt him
Erwin.
more
I
than
can't
I
think of
did.
anybody else, right?
There's that lady that would hang out in the
Well,
square.
there was Graf's doppelganger that we.
Oh yeah, we know what he looks
you guys
like.
met.
Did we know what the doppelganger?
Well, look like him, I'd hope, right?
Yeah, the doppelganger
yeah.
was looking like Graf.
Identical?
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
Well, it's-
Henrik would know.
Or Orlando's a different dude, but he looks like Graf, who is like the main
The big bad dude.
leader supreme. Yes, sir.
So I
The
guess
Chalupa
that might be the
Supreme.
best.
Do you know what he sounds like? We can try to do some performance lessons. I can try to get the accent down real quick.
I mean, I I can make him. I can make his voice like to a T.
Can you make
Um,
my voice into his voice with your magic?
I
Oh, can't you
cannot
do that?
that.
Can't you project your voice? Oh, well, no. Well, he's still
I can
asking the
Well, not
project
if
question.
my
he's
voice
It's
talking.
into the
magic.
thaumaturgy
think
to
he
boom out.
has
It's
to.
like this. It's the same accent, just louder.
You can tell him you have a cold.
maybe I'll just say I have a cough, a slight cough.
Can't you do that thing, Dewey, where you talk in another language?
Oh, I don't know if he'll understand me if I don't speak.
Well,
in
can't you
common.
speak a language that he knows? Do we know it? Does he speak French or anything
You
like
know
that?
He knows to speak French.
Can you
His
imagine a
famous French.
cowboy?
Yeah, you know, if
Bon
he said-
anniversaire.
I don't know if he speaks. Yeah, he might speak Abyssal now that he's somewhere else, but
Oh,
I don't know. I think we should stick to common if we try.
okay.
Yeah, I think
You know,
our
his
best
ears
bet-
look pretty singed. He might not even know.
Our best bet is at least the
even hear you.
disguise. I'm reckoning. I can't think of anything else we could even
Yeah,
do.
that
right?
is probably the best. Yes.
All right, then. Warm me up and hide behind the broken pillar that was housing the poison plant.
How specific of you? Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we should all
no.
hide, shouldn't we? Oh, good. I wasn't really planning on watching this anyway.
So I touch Dewey
I'll hop
and
behind this hut here.
transform him into the graph.
Do you need a stealth check or no?
If you guys are hiding behind that little thing, I'm not gonna need that. No.
Okay, I'm gonna hide.
What
with-
about... Yeah, it's good man. Hanging by the well.
All right, I send the spiritual weapon there too.
If Henrik is gonna be hanging out there and like offering questions for him, then yes, I will need a stealth check from Henrik.
I have some
They-
decent questions.
I gotta tell you, they won't be verbal questions. It'll either just kind of be like something like that.
Okay.
Did you just die there for a second, Dewey?
Okay.
Just a little. It's contagious.
The plant's back.
All right, so I'm gonna try to speak like this Erlin, looking like this Erlin. I'm gonna come up. I'll say,
Okay. So you cast a spell.
I'll cast the spell.
Okay. So the way that it works in this world is the body recognizes how it died. So as soon as you cast the spell, you don't think that anything took, and then all of a sudden its eyelids pop open and it just starts screaming in pain.
Ah!
And, and it calms down a little bit and stares up at you, ready to hear what you have to say.
Orlando, it's Erlin. I'm here. Who did this to you?
That tiefling. He burned me up. That's it.
Is it because you were selling the poison to the church?
That's a reasonable assumption.
You know, I forgot who you were working under. Who do you report to in the church?
I never told you his name.
What's his name?
His name was Graf. I was tasked to come down here to find a simple solution to send the king to the afterlife. Looks like I found it. I have one more.
Where can I find Graf? I need to tell him what transpired here.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Rolling.
Okay. Whenever I reported to him, he was always in a vey. And you feel the spirit leave the charred remains that were there. Also, as you're getting up close to this, you see a singed cloak that is hanging off of this body.
I reach down and pick up the cloak and carry it back to the group, telling them about what we learned about Graf and that Orlando thinks he resides in a vey, and that he was probably the one selling the poison all along. I hand it to Azazel. Your current cloak isn't looking so good, so take this one.
Yes, the burnt one is much better than the bloodied one. You're right.
I don't think it'll be burnt for long. He wipes some of the ash off it.
How dirty is that cloak looking? I could give it the old Roy dry
you can
cleaning
do the-
service.
You can do the prestidigitation, but there are holes in it.
Ooh, that I can't do much about.
Yeah,
I'll have to get it to my
there's
seamstress.
pieces of it. Yeah, there's pieces of it that are missing, and that's all you guys know for now.
What color is the cloak?
It is a mix between like this orange and this dark green. It's a dark green and black.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wow, these are definitely my colors. I appreciate this, Dewey, and I'm gonna look at this as a memento.
Oh, don't read too much into that. It wasn't mine to give.
You did earn it,
Yes, I can
Azazel.
take care of now.
As you guys are having this conversation, you hear boom, and you see down
Hey,
over by the water
he got his PNG cleared up.
a very large dragon. Boom, boom, boom. I'm walking over, and he sees Orlando on the ground, covered in ash, and he looks over at the Marlboro that was over here, and he turns back into the dragonborn form that you guys all know and love.
Is it?
Oh god, there's two of them. Okay.
There we go.
He looks over at Orlando a little bit. Yeah. He got what he deserved, I see. And he kind of takes a look around, and he sees all of the Dekubabas that were once people, and he's like, I don't know about them, but yeah, he needed to die. You guys did good work. I hope you don't, I hope I don't undersell how appreciative I am, honestly. It means a lot.
And exactly how appreciative are you?
I say, tonight we have an actual feast as opposed to this feast of the flower, and I'll take you to see your vampire friend. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
I know you're probably expecting some money, but I'm a dragon that lives on an island. I know it makes sense that I would have a horde of some kind. I don't really need that stuff.
I don't need money, but after we go see the vampire, Could you arrange transport for us over to Ave?
Yes.
I think that's a
Or to
good suggestion, Henry.
Bravenport, possibly.
Uh,
We still haven't
wherever
checked
you
back
guys-
in there.
Wherever you guys would like to go, I can possibly arrange some transport. I can see if some pterodactyls want to take you.
Oh man.
Don't know how people would react to dinosaurs coming to a town.
They could
we
drop
gotta be
us
careful on
closer
that.
to the coast. We could walk a little.
It'll work. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's one more thing that I need to do. And he walks over to Orlando's body, and he just breathes fire on it.
Haha.
Burns it down to ashes to the point where the wind is starting to take it. And
Oh, I wanted to grab a little of that.
you can grab some. There's still some on the ground.
I
if you
wanted to
want
stop or summon a vial.
Sure.
Do we
That is-
ribs Azazel? He's like a bit redundant, don't you think? Underneath his breast.
Yeah, well done. Am I right?
He kind of looks over and he's like, I needed to do that. You get what I mean, right?
Oh, dude, I know how. Believe me, when I did it the first time, so satisfying. I totally understand.
This was your doing.
Oh yeah, he hit me with this sword and it just like it sent me over the edge and I just blasted him. There I was, I went blasted.
Fuck. I would have thought it would have been you, and he's looking over at Roy. But
Yeah, no. Azazel packs a lot of fire in that tiefling frame. He's a fiery guy.
I also, if you ever need some weed killer, I could
could
tell
do
you a
that,
little
too.
something about that too.
He's great at tree removal.
well,
We could start a landscaping service.
probably won't want to get onto your bad side, is what you're saying. Got it.
I wouldn't mess with him.
But probably shouldn't get on my bad side either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what to do with this town? Guess we can use it for scraps. Guess we could, I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out as time goes on.
Has Orlando been trying to poach any of your village's riches and wealths? Or is it just all agricultural based?
It was under the guise of helping us out when times were tough, but and he looks over at the Marlboro. He goes, I think that his little plant's roots got into our system.
Hmm.
That would explain why we started losing some food supply.
Sure. Surely if he was selling your prestigious beverage to other people, he must have been making some sort of profit off it, right? It's possible he poured all that money into growing his little monstrosity, but I don't know. It's worth a look around. Maybe there's some other riches here.
I was hoping to take a look around and maybe see what Erlin was cooking up. Literally
means.
and figuratively.
Won't take too long to make it back to our village. So
All right, well, we
I
graciously
can wait.
accept your offer. Thank you.
you guys want to take a look around the village, see what you can find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will take that vial really quick of Orlando's ashes and just offer it to Henrik. Say, keep your friends close. Know what I mean?
I'll take it. Yeah.
Figured you want a memento of taking a guy down.
Absolutely. Thank you, friend.
You're welcome.
Kevin, I appreciate that so much. I'm going to give you a D4 inspiration.
Inspiration. I'm
Oh,
inspired.
nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice role-playing thing right there.
Yeah, I try here.
As that nice thing is happening, Azazel runs over to the potion seller's house and he's like, there's got to be something good in there.
I really want to scope that place out too.
Okay. I need you two to roll investigation checks.
All right.
Cool.
Oh!
Oh man, double ones. Double ones with
Goodness.
advantage.
Aha! I found it.
Oh my gosh, what did I find?
So
It's not even worth
I-
using the inspiration there.
Totally
No,
found
it's
that
not.
potion.
So as
A very real
Azazel is
potion.
trying to like look
Oh
through
my
and try
gosh.
to find anything of semi-importance.
Breaking shit.
Azazel, you just keep on hearing glass breaking. Followed
Sorry. Ah!
Followed by sorry. Like 3 times.
I'm
it
just
happens
excited.
Before...
Did you find anything?
With an 11,
As I hit my glass into something.
with an 11, you find 2. Let me find them for you. Hold on.
Here I'm thinking, like, I get advantage. Who's the man?
Okay.
For every Henrik, there's a Roy.
You find 2 potions that are in this like very slim bottle, and you find 1 bottle of this red liquid that you've seen it before. It's a potion of healing. You just don't know what kind. You just got to be super careful with it because you don't know. You know the one that he gave Dewey was poisonous, or Orlando gave was poisonous. So there's 2 that are in this like slim bottle, and 1 that you can, with reasonable confidence, know that it's a potion of healing. You just don't know what kind.
A dubious potion of healing. Okay.
Why don't we tie a little bow on that one and know that that's the one that's marked?
Well, we can look at them all tonight. Just when we're resting a little bit. Let me take a look later.
We could do like a flight of it. A little sample taste, right?
Or I can identify it and see if it has that illusion flicker going on again.
That's the magical way of saying it, yes.
Yeah. Well, we can do magic in this town now again.
Oh yeah, wow,
Like,
magic's open for
picks up a
business.
rock- Picks up a
Yeah?
rock and lights it.
Just start
So
shooting
while you guys
sparks
were
all over the
heading-
place.
While you guys were heading into that shop, you passed by the Deku Baba that he turned into, Erlin, and you can see that there's remnants of him,
Yeah, I was curious about
But-
that.
but it looks like a portion of Erlin became this creature, and other parts were just eaten as it came out of the ground.
Ooh.
Like you can see that it sort of morphed as soon as it took hold of Erlin, and then it was just able to shoot nuts and bite at you guys if it got closer. Like the teeth are very sharp, and it opens up into this large mouth.
A maw.
So there's not much left.
Is there any like gold or anything on their persons?
With the 11 from Azazel, there's not much gold.
Okay. Trinkets or things of value? I'm not much of a pickpocket here, but I did just break half the glasses in this place too.
Some of them are bubbling, but they're not like acidic or of any means. With the 11, I would say that you would not find any trinkets on Erlin or anybody else. Unless there was a specific person that you were looking at.
Nah, I can't think of anyone that had anything of value. I don't know. Azazel might have noticed something.
Yeah, Roy, I found these 2 potions. Here, you wanna hold on to one? I'll hold on to the other.
Yeah, I'll take it very gingerly.
They
I
look
hope this isn't
that
like the
potion
Dewey
of
special
healing.
too. Maybe Dewey can take a look at this later, and
Oh, good idea.
I'll do something to mark it. I have like a ink or something. I'll just like mark.
Yeah, just write in your inventory 1 slim bottle of potion. For now.
I got 1 slim bottle of potion. Don't know what it is, but it's there.
Or 1 slim potion bottle. I don't know why I worded it like that.
I kind of like the way it is
I
worded.
like slim bottle of potion.
Slim bottle of potion.
Conrad, do you
I'll take the
remember
potion.
where Orlando lives? Did he live in the back of that bar? That might be worth checking out if you go over there.
I didn't spend much time in the bar, so I can't answer that accurately. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. See, if it were me, and I had riches in a town, I would want it in the safest place possible. Dewey looks down the cracked pillar. So I would either think it's underneath here, or over in this well over here. He calls and he comes back. I need your eyes for a sec. I'm gonna throw light stones down both of them. Can you take a look? Tell me if you see
Cool.
something.
I mean, you may not need to throw anything. I can see some darkness, you know.
All right. Well, maybe there'll be some colors.
Fair, fair enough.
All right. I'll toss one light stone down there.
Okay. Make a perception check, Henrik.
Yes, sir, Capitan.
And
Oh,
a
we're doing
second plant creature comes out.
Oh no!
The tomb first or the well, Heinrich? Which one? The tomb first or the well you want to do?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're doing over here first?
Whichever you want to do.
I'll do the
Luckier.
let's do the
The
well.
well? Okay.
Wells are lucky, you know.
The well seems better because this one would be hard to get to because it was cracked. So it'd be like a piggy bank without a stopper on the bottom. You crack it, it's open forever.
Okay. For this one, you don't even need to make a perception check. It is
Oh, no?
filled with water.
Ah, well, damn.
Well.
Oh boy!
thank
Wow,
goodness.
I'm just giving you the ones.
My eyes aren't so good. Is there something down there?
Look at all that water.
Kerplunk.
All
All
right,
right,
let's
let's
check
try
this
this.
out.
Let's try this other one.
Maybe you gotta make a wish before you throw it in.
Okay. As the light stone goes down, you see huge vines that are just filled with spines and thorns, encapsulating this about 10 to 15 foot hole that's going down into the ground. And they're going every which way. They're going into the side over here, they're going down more. Some of them are coming up closer to where you guys are. But you can see just a whole bunch of vines that were in place here.
Do they
As
look
it-
alive?
No, they actually look more withered than usual. But they don't appear to be moving at all. They look to be actually blackening a little bit as you guys are standing there.
Huh.
There's not much to see here. If anyone lived amongst these creatures, they were either a goblin themselves or just a plant.
You know, when I was a boy, I heard stories of the subterranean mole people. Do you think this could lead to one of their villages?
To be clear, you want to take a side quest and climb in the hole and
I just want to know if you're on the up and up. You believe in the mole people, right? No, nobody would. They're folklore. Everybody knows that. They're real, right? You know.
Isn't it gnomes that
By
live
all
underground too?
Was that?
hard to say.
Gnomes?
Yes, gnomes live underground. Yes.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, if there's ever, it's probably not worth it. It's too far down. It's too deep. There's no ladder. I'm gonna go see if there's.
Wait, you
anything
can't
far.
like shimmy along the vines and that?
I'm not the best climber. I struggled to climb that one rope in the sea. I'm just gonna go.
All right, that's fair.
So you're gonna go into the bar?
Yeah, just see if there's anything. If not,
Okay.
I'll just chill at the table for a second.
Make a
collecting
perception
my
check.
thoughts. Oh, sure.
Really quick, can I scoop up the plant bodies and get them on like a funeral pyre while
Sure.
this is happening? Cool.
With a 13, you go into the back room of this bar. There are some papers strewn about. It honestly just looks like business as usual. There's no ledger because people weren't really spending money here. It's just more of how much alcohol they were bringing in and giving out. There's one line in it that catches your attention, and it says Asp's Kiss, 5 vials, and then the 5 is crossed out, and it says 2.
Huh. If I look over near the bar, is there anything? And now that we know what I can't say ask
Right?
looks like, is there anything that looks like what is it served us, or anything that's like set aside from the rest of the stock? If there's the equivalent of a register, I'm looking under the register.
So make an investigation check for me,
All right.
because now you're actively searching for Asp's kiss.
Good luck. They're pretty tough today.
All right.
Nice. You do find one vial. It was in the back room in like a desk drawer. You can't find another one if there even is another one. But you feel like you've done a pretty good job of searching through that back room and searching through the drawer and the register, that you feel fairly confident that that was the only one.
All right. I come out and is it still here or is he left?
Is it still here?
He's still here. I come over and I show him the vial. I say, is this one of yours, or is this something else?
No, this is one of mine, I think. And going like this, he's like putting it into the light, and he goes, "You gotta be honest though. Based on what they were doing with this shit, I probably wouldn't drink it."
Yeah, that was part of me thought that since that weed was poisonous, that they might have been mixing your drink with the natural poison of that thing. But I don't know.
I think that makes perfect sense. But I don't know what you want to do with this. If you guys want to hold on to it, I would be careful. Humans can't really drink this shit.
Be afraid
Even
that
if
we
it-
would accidentally break it and
I'm more
cause more
afraid
issues.
I'm more afraid that if people found out where this came from, they want to come and see the island and come attack my people. So he's looking at it a little bit more. He goes,
I'll give
I
it
don't
to
know.
Izzet then. I'll say, okay, you can take this. You do what you want with it.
he takes it in his hand and crushes it and lets it drop onto the ground.
Dewey nods.
Yeah. I hope that at the end of the day, we can keep all of this stuff of a town that was making poison a secret to everybody on that mainland. I like my privacy. I don't want people coming here. And I guess that's a mistake on my part. I shouldn't have been so trusting of people. But being trusting of people is what led me to you guys. So thanks.
I guess we'll keep this place under wraps.
Yeah, if you could go ahead and not say anything about that, or idea, just make it sound fucking horrible here. That'd be great. That'd probably even be better.
That works.
Just like before we met you,
It did sound
pretty
pretty
much.
deadly.
how
Yeah.
we thought it was. That should be easy.
Maybe we can
Yeah.
amp it up. I think Azazel could tell a tale or two.
Oh my god, this guy Erlen, he was like, potion this, get me the plant that, and he was like, hey, I'll do something for you. It was awful.
I
So-
do think we will need to speak to the prince at some point, Prince Vossler, right, and let him know that we at least stopped the production of the Asp's Kiss.
Maybe
'Cause
we can
he's-
alert him to this Graph character too while we're at it.
Yeah, I agree. At least to keep them aware, because I'd imagine now that with the king dead, the prince is the next target. You guys remember Prince Vossler from like 2 or 3 years ago, right? He
Somebody's been
teleported
looking through
us.
their notes.
Yeah, you know.
You know, I do remember Prince Vossler, but I also was like, anyway, yeah, I remember him. He's there.
There are two princes. There's the Prince Vossler, who's the older one, and Prince Larsa, who's the younger one.
So, there we go. Once
So
it's in the
now with the
notes, it's
king-
there.
Yep. So now with the king dead,
So it goes to
By-
Vossler.
by ruling, it goes to Vossler. Yes.
Gotcha. And we like Vossler.
Well, Vossler's helped you out before.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
So wait, Roy, did you collect all of those the plant bodies?
Yeah, I was planning on chucking all of them into this pit crack plant area and just torching them all, Dragonborn style.
Oh, I'll leave that to you.
We could
You
do it
know-
together if you want to throw a bonfire down on them.
Oh,
You know you
I
want to.
mean, I was hoping that you would,
How about you drop the bonfire, and then I'll do the breath weapon, and you'll be an honorary Dragonborn today.
I would love nothing more than that
All right.
to happen.
At least disguise yourself as someone that is a Dragonborn.
I disguised myself as Phil McCracken.
Yes.
Nice.
All right. Phil's in.
Nice.
Yes. What a
You
callback.
see a blue dragonborn appear before you guys. Little hefty,
Phil
a little
McCracken.
chunky.
I like that.
But,
That's the first guy you thought of too.
That's amazing.
I was like, are there any other Dragonborns that we've met? And I was like,
A whole village
Whole
of them.
village.
well, yeah, but Phil McCracken and his wife were the only ones that were like
There's-
memey enough, for like the occasion.
There's Hector, Soren,
Hey, Phil.
Corban.
Hey Phil, how's the missus?
Oh, what was her name?
Amanda Kiss and Hug.
Amanda
Amanda
Kiss and
Kiss-
Hug.
Oh, Amanda, I don't even remember what
I think
their
he was a
voices-
southern gentleman. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, he had more of the southern drawl going on too.
I do say my wife is
Foghorn Leghorn?
yeah, no, I immediately went to that.
Phil
say- I
Horn,
say.
the crack horn.
Good. She's well. And I'll
Oh man.
pass bonfire, but like I'll be
Make it
like,
look like it shoots out of your mouth.
oh, look at that.
I'll use my breath weapon and we'll torch this
Yeah,
place out.
You guys drop in the plant monsters into this little hole, set it aflame, and it almost creates like a little flame tornado, like this very
Flame
airy
NATO.
sort of plume of fire that is coming up, and it's beautiful to look at.
It's probably a little
And it
poisonous
smells,
too.
Probably smells terrible.
Oh yeah, we're torching flesh and plants and like leather.
Like a leather.
Maybe we should have
Is
stripped
it-
him down first, but this is fine.
Izzet looks over to you guys and he goes, "You boys ready?"
Believe so.
I think so. Did we have any?
Bodies under his
They didn't really have any armaments here that we could have swiped, right? This isn't anything crazy.
We can take some hose, maybe.
Oh, you just want to pillage the village? Is that what I'm hearing?
Okay.
I don't know
I think-
anything that Izzet needs for the village that we could scoop on one trip here.
Might as well. It's all
Farming
over the
tools?
list anyway.
Implements of destruction.
The only weapon that you have ever seen while you were staying here was the longsword that Orlando had.
Yeah, whatever happened to that thing?
It's still there.
Oh,
Oh,
let's just leave it.
Oh, look at that.
No,
And
no,
then they're like-
no.
And
I'll-
none
I'll-
of us do anything. We're like,
I'm
let's
gonna
go.
identify the.
I'll grab the sword.
It is, if you cast Identify, it is not magical.
Okay. Ah, this is worthless.
I'll take it.
Just chucks it into the water.
I'll swipe that sword.
Okay. It's nicely engraved, but it's just not magical. So you could probably get some money out of it if you want to try to sell it.
That sounds good. We'll hawk it when we can make it back to the mainland.
Alright, so Izzet goes, "Now you boys ready?"
All right. Thanks for being so patient.
Not a problem.
I think we're good.
Alright. And he will turn back into his dragon form as opposed to his dragonborn form. And he goes... he turns around and he goes, "Ride me!"
Oh, we should call you Phil McCracken.
Shotgun. Do we just he tries to go near the head.
I tried to do my best Liam Neeson, but I was laughing too hard. Alright. And you guys are now soaring through the air, heading south on this sunset that is happening. By the time you make it to his village, it is nighttime. However, he keeps on flying, and you start seeing over the mountainside, there's this mountain range that's on the south side that almost encapsulates the whole shore. You start seeing this tower come closer and closer. It is completely engulfed in night. There are no lights in there. As you get closer, you see that there's a nice-sized house. I wouldn't necessarily call it a mansion. It's a nice-sized house that's attached to this tower. He lands right in front of it, and he turns back into his dragon-born form, and he goes, "Well, this is Derek's house. If you guys want, I can come in with you. I can stay out here. It's entirely up to you. I haven't seen him in a while, so if you need some buffer, I can do that for you. But he's good people. Just what do you want me to do?"
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. What do we think, gang? The keep is it along with us? I think that's makes sense.
Well, maybe just to get an introduction so that when we return, he doesn't
Yeah.
slay us.
Yeah, that way we don't seem like four strangers barging into a person's home.
Right, kind of like how a king would give you a letter to justify you
Announcing.
to foreign royalty.
Azazel, first of his
Makes
name.
sense. All right. So he walks over to the door and doom, knocks on it. You guys are back a little bit, but you see the door open a little bit, and he's talking to somebody. After a while, the door closes. He turns back to you and he goes. He turns back around. He gestures for you guys to walk forward a little bit. And the next time that the door opens, let me get this up. You see a younger man with bleach blonde hair coming down to about his chest level, dressed very fine in purples and blacks. On his left-hand side, and he opens the door up a little bit more, and he goes, "Ah, is it? It is so nice to see you on this fine night. To what do I owe the pleasure of... company?" And he looks around to all you guys. "Well, I hate to be rude in my own establishment. Come in, gentlemen, come in." And he lets you in to his house.
It's just a big deal being invited in. It's supposed to be a big thing in vampire culture.
Folks, if you don't mind, I'm very particular about my house. If you would bow as you enter, that'd be great.
Is it okay if we go?
If you bow,
I'm gonna bow.
I'm
I'm
I'll
gonna bow.
give a bow, like a
I'll give like
Pleasure.
half back.
half bow's fine.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm just looking at one thing.
Alucard's looking cool.
Izzet kind of steps forward a little bit and he goes, "Eric, these are friends of mine. They helped deal with our little problem up to the north. And I kind of promised them an invitation to you, if that's okay with you." And Derek kind of looks over and he goes, Why would people want an invitation with me? I try to stick by myself, go hunting a little bit, but please, gentlemen, my name is Derek, and who am I speaking with?
I am Azazel's Solar Void, first of his name, burner of imposters and giant plants. It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
He bows.
I bow back.
You're in like a bow off with each other. Pleasure.
How long do we do this for?
Yeah. I am Roy Carrick. Pleasure to meet you.
Bows.
Apprentice of Melkor, Lord Melkor.
His eyes kind of open wide for a second.
I think apprentice is the right word.
Melkor. Ah, I have not heard that name in such a long time. So, that is why you're here. He brought you to me. Am I
Yeah, he's
safely
right
saying
here,
that?
technically. Point to the halberd.
His eyes open up even wider. Oh, my dear friend. But may I?
Sure. No.
He takes
Sorry,
it.
guys, I kind of
and-
snubbed your intros a little here.
No, that's fine.
That's
He takes
okay.
it.
I got mine in.
And almost immediately, he starts weeping. He goes, my friend, it has been too long. I see you have yourself a new vessel with you, and stops. I see. My apologies, my good friend. If you could just give me 1 second. I'm terribly sorry. I haven't met the rest of you.
Henrik Gascoigne, former assassin for the Ethos.
Bows.
Dewey Decimal traveling cleric of Ave. He leans forward, bows, and the armor slouches forward a little bit. It's weird, and I stumble.
He bows. He looks over at you guys and he goes, well, let me just say, I appreciate you coming all this way to see me. However, let us find more comfortable places to sit. And he calls out, Roland! And you see this older elven looking character. The
Not
reason
a
why he
gnome.
looks not a gnome, sorry.
Got it.
His eyes appear sunken. He looks a little tired. The only reason why he looks a little bit older is because he's got the gray hairs coming out. But as he steps closer, he goes, gentlemen, if you could please follow me into the living area, or I guess unliving area. And he will escort you guys into this little room over here.
That
You like
was,
that?
That was a good one.
That
sir.
was very good.
He will you guys inside. Dewey, I need you to make just make a straight wisdom check for me.
Oh. I shall click.
And you can add your proficiency modifier to it too. So
12.
12. Okay. You feel a quick wind from you to Roland back to you.
I clutch my holy book in its pocket.
Derek, while still holding the halberd, has everybody sit down, and he goes, so, Melkor brought you to me.
Yes.
If you would be so kind, I would like a little bit of time with him alone. Just to go over a few things. Is that alright?
I mean, I guess it's the least we could do for you allowing us to come into your lovely house.
Yeah. I just have a feeling that after a certain amount of time, he'll disappear from... No, he won't. Never mind. I'm thinking of something else. That's perfectly fine. I thought it was after a minute, the weapon vanishes and then... that doesn't happen. I forget how it works with that. Because we retconned that a little, too.
We did retcon it a little bit.
Back to what the normal thing was. Like, I could banish it away or whatever, but...
You can banish it away if need be, and it
But
would
I
come
could just
back.
leave it, yeah. So, yeah, that's fine. Catch up.
Okay. I would say as long as you give permission, it's going to stick around. So he goes into this little room over here.
I've thought about
You are
that
left
before,
with-
too. Making a weapon for somebody and then just like, here you go. It's magical now. I have nothing.
So you are left with Roland and Izzet kind of looks over awkwardly at Roland, and he goes, so, And Roland goes, so? It's like, weird weather, huh? Roland goes, it's been unusually dry, but we don't really go out during the day, obviously. It's like, right. Just kind of looking around a little bit. they, you can tell that they've had conversations before, but they're just super awkward around each other.
Mr. Roland, do you have a lavatory, or should I just step outside?
Well, I mean, as vampires, we don't really need to use the restroom.
What?
Oh
But
boy.
I guess you could just go outside.
This perks to the
All right,
gig,
I'll
I
be right
guess.
back. I have permission to come back in after.
You'll have to knock, and we'll escort you in.
All right, I'll step outside. Do I feel the whoosh leave as I get out?
You just heard that. Is Matt peeing?
No, that was.
It's
I
role
got to
playing.
get. I got to get a drink. I'm still here though.
Oh, okay.
He's role playing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was making the noise for you.
Matt's really trying to get that D4 inspiration too. It's like, I'll do you one better. I'll do it for you.
So with that 12, that was the only wind that you felt. Like you didn't feel it constantly going back and forth. So when you left, you didn't feel any difference because it wasn't following around.
All right, so I'm gonna go out and then just like drop to my hands and knees for a second, put my hands on, punch over a little bit, breathing a little bit heavy, and I'm gonna cast protection from good and evil on myself real quick just before I go back in.
Okay.
Smart.
Let me super read that super
I can
quick.
paste it for you.
I got it. Creatures of those types have disadvantage. Don't possessed by them. Okay.
So we did all kind of go here on a whim, DM, but I guess kind of what's the read on these unnatural, undead vampire dudes that are here?
Roll an insight check.
Okay.
This is going to be.
I
a
did
little
just
bit
give him
higher.
my patron and weapon. But maybe
This is
we'll
gonna be a little
see
bit
what they're like.
Higher of a DC just because you haven't really had a conversation with them. They've just kind of escorted you in. You took your
Yeah.
weaping. It was just like.
Yeah.
They look
That's
sketchy.
understandable.
They're vampires. They're vampires. I got it.
Yeah,
It-
you know.
Right. Yes, they're vampires. Yeah.
Maybe we
Roland kind of looks over at you guys and he goes, "Can I offer anybody a drink? It's not blood. It's not blood. Trust me."
No, thank you. I'm fine. Thank you.
I wouldn't mind a drink.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Azazel perks up and he's like, I mean, it would be rude of me to say no, right?
Of course. If you would give me 1 second, and he goes into the room on the left over here. Comes back like a minute later, and he has 3 cups of water for you guys.
Henrik, if you're rude, you're the drink.
Don't drink it.
Oh.
Don't.
They might have pumpkin.
I just slowly sip the water in disappointment because
Oh, it's water?
not alcohol.
Yeah, it's just water.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Thank you very much, Roland. That was very generous and kind of you.
Can I flavor it
you're
with the
welcome.
prestidigitation? Give it a different taste?
Can you make water into wine with prestidigitation?
You can make it taste different, I think. It doesn't actually do it, but it does taste different.
Okay.
Maybe I'm making that up. I can make it colder. I'll chill my water a little bit and then drink it.
Okay. You hear some mumblings going on into the room over here, and Roland just kind of looks around and he goes, I've only been here for a few years, but I appreciate some nice company once in a while. Where are you boys from?
Well, I come from a land that's very far away. I come from the city of Eden.
You boys are from the mainland.
Yes,
Oh,
that's right.
yes.
Interesting.
And if I may ask you a question, Roland, how many years is a few years for a vampire?
I I have been here maybe 4 years.
Oh, okay. That is only a few
I
years.
I'm relatively new here. I fell into a bad rap and Derek helped me out. So I have aligned my undying servitude to him. And do I miss being a person? Not really. It'd be nice to see some people though, but they've probably forgotten about me.
Where were you from originally, Roland? Where do you hail from?
I was an adventurer like you guys. That's my. Don't say it.
Then you took an arrow to the knee. I had to. My body was like, I have to say it.
It's like the guy with the vein shooting out of his head. The meme guy.
The meme, I'm like,
I used
Yes.
to write down much of my adventures in books. But my home base was Bravenport.
Oh, interesting. When's the last time
I-
you've been to Bravenport?
About 4 or 5 years.
Oh, that lines up just about right.
what would you, man? Would you look at that?
Unfortunate. I'm sorry.
So wait a second. Did you know anything about Nova? That's where that's. I'm remembering that correctly, right?
That's the guy, yeah.
Yeah.
He's from
You know
Bravenport.
Nova?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
Nova was my. And he looks confused for a second at the hearing of that name. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. Would you happen to know of a woman named Anais?
Yeah.
We sure would.
Is she okay?
Yeah. She seems fine.
It's been quite some time, but
It's
yeah.
really only been a few weeks.
Yeah,
feels
looks
like-
through-
It's
It
been
feels
three.
like
It's
years.
been for us. It feels like it's been 4 years, but it has really not been that long.
Nova was a good friend of mine. I made him promise that. Oh, it doesn't matter. And as he kind of looks down, you see Derek come walking back in, and he goes, "Mr. Roy, could you follow me real quick?"
Sure, yeah. It's just Roy if you prefer to.
My pleasantries take over sometimes. My apologies. There is something that I need to discuss with you. However, I need to make sure that you know the repercussions.
Well, I don't know them
course.
until you say them, but yes.
I am not one to, I guess you could say, gift my powers so willingly to somebody that I had just met. But Melkor sees something in you. He sees the strength that he has not seen in hundreds of years. He sees a strive for power, a strive for knowledge, and a strive to do what needs to be done. This is entirely up to you. But I need you to understand, there are massive repercussions for this. He is asking me to loan you some of my power. The only way that I can do that is with a bite.
As you said that, the drums went dun, dun, dun. Oh boy. This is a one-way street, isn't it?
It's
One-way
don't
stop, I
know.
should say.
Now, I don't know what will happen to you just because you have him on your side. The transformation could take a little longer, it could take shorter. I personally do not know. But I know that he wants you to become stronger. And he would try to give you this power himself, but unfortunately he can't.
This is a very tough decision. What would be some of the benefits? Do you have
Benefits?
do you have like a pamphlet? A brochure?
It takes shape to different people differently. The best thing that I can say is usually within a day, your fangs would start to grow more.
I would essentially become one of the undead.
I do not know. I've never done it before where Melkor has been such a presence in the person's life.
Okay. So I could just be receiving the gift of the vampire without becoming a true vampire. Could be like
I wish I had
Blade.
all the answers.
I wish you did too. I wish I did.
And he's still holding on to your halberd, and he goes, yes, of course. And he holds out the halberd for you to hold with him holding onto it as well.
What do I feel from the bird?
Stand by.
Okay. Oh yeah, here we go. I like that sometimes there's tokens that don't like face each other or whatever just from the nature of them. It's nice that Melkor and I face each other. However,
Right.
Derek is off a little bit, but that's alright. There we go. Look at that Triforce of power.
I think I can... No, I can't. I can't flip him. That's okay.
This is fine.
That's fine. Melkor kind of looks at you, and he goes, I know that this is a big ask, but I am so close. All I want is my normal body back. You have been the closest person to get me there. Now, I will try and do what I can to stop this disease from overtaking you. But Derek is right. You need to know the repercussions. I don't know how long I can hold it off, or even if I can hold it off. But I think it needs to be done. And Derek kind of looks at him, looks back at you, and he goes, I don't want you to think that we're making you do this. This is a big offer that you do not need to take. And Melkor kind of gives him a stink eye a little bit. And he goes, my friend, please. He can make the decision for himself.
Can I turn into a bat like the books say?
I do not know.
Okay. It doesn't seem like there's any reversal for this as well, right?
I don't know either.
And I'll have a thirst for blood? Unknown. Well, you've been able to curb it for a long time. I think I have the willpower for that.
Like you've been feeding me.
That's true. Am I of my own free will of doing this, or am I a thrall, a servant?
Yes, you are a means to an end. However, we have something that I have not felt in hundreds of years. You want power as well. You want to do right. It's fine. But as long as you have me, I need some things in return as well. However, if you think that you can go on without this power, that's completely fine.
Boy, is this tough. But I really want to do it because it's cool. I'll need some kind of cloak to block out the sun, but I want to go for it.
Derek looks at you and goes,
It's too cool to not pass up.
Mr. Roy, are you certain you want to do this? And Melkor grabs him and he goes, he can make his own decisions. Roy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
He nods, and your vision goes back to the room that you were in. And Derek is standing in front of you. He let go of the halberd, so you're just holding onto it. And he goes, I believe he's asking me to do this. But if you insist, I just need one more clarification that you are ready to do this.
Ready.
He grabs your head and tilts it over to the side a little bit. And you feel this intense heat and pain course through you. As he pulls back, you feel these 4 prongs that are left in your neck. A little bit of blood, but Derek comes out. Dragon blood.
I elbow Azazel. You're like, you watching this shit?
Are we
There's-
like open
so-
too, or are we like behind a
No,
door?
there's a wall right here.
Oh, that
There's a
looked
doorway
open.
right there.
That looked open. Never mind. My bad.
You're
Oh.
fine. He kind of pulls away. He goes, Dragon blood. It's everywhere, isn't it? Kind of shakes it off a little bit. He goes, I don't know when the powers will take hold or what kind of repercussions will take hold, but give it a little bit of time. You should be okay. I guess you could say I'm sorry that Melkor is making you do this. But
It is my own choice.
it is your own choice, and honestly, I would like to see Melkor in person again as opposed to inside your head. And if this is the way to do it, so be it. Now, is there anything else that you needed?
No.
Okay. We will get back to Roy in a second. Was there anything else that happened in this living room area while they were gone?
And then the other elephant says, not soap, radio.
Oh, I think I get it now. That is very humorous, I guess.
So,
And is
is it
Yes.
clearly you had dealings with Orlando?
I did a few months back.
Is there any further information that you may have on the ethos that you may be able to provide?
Well, to be honest, he didn't really talk about who he was working with. He came to us in our time of need because he planted that fucking plant there, poisoned all of our crops, and then decides to come down and try to sell us food for our ass kiss. So, he took advantage of us. And I feel stupid for not realizing it first. But no, he didn't really say anything about this Church of Ethos or anything like that.
I'll tell you that you're not the only people to be taken advantage of by them.
They're a very secretive bunch, aren't they? The pricks. So what's in it for you? Why are you following this Church of Ethos?
I'm not so much following as, we'll say, tracking or hunting.
Hunting, that's a good word. Why? You seem to have some of this personal experience or a vendetta against them. I've just recently learned about them, so please, the more information I get, the better I can inform my village.
They hold themselves out to be a church. They are no church. It's a front.
Of course,
To fund their other activities.
You know how I can smell demons, fiends, devils, gods among you.
Sure.
The stench that I got off of Orlando was none of those.
Creation of man.
He was more in it for the good of all mankind, as he would say. What a crock of shit, right? Now, if you were to tell me that they were doing some sort of experiments down here, I wouldn't have believed you, because I thought that he was helping us out. But I was played fool. I haven't talked to anyone outside of my village in a long time, except for Derek and Roland here.
They are doing this the whole world over.
Oh, it's a good thing they have you boys to try to stop them, huh? And for what it's worth, I guess I apologize for making that ass kiss in the first place. I thought that it was just a liquor for us, but I didn't think that they would use it for dastardly means.
You couldn't hope to know what they would be using it for.
And Azaz looks over and he says, "You should never, ever apologize for making something so wonderful. I, for one, absolutely enjoyed that ass kiss better than I've enjoyed pretty much any other drink I could think of." And then I look at the water and then I'm like, except for a good old-fashioned water, and I look over at Roland.
Roland kind of nods. He goes, "Appreciate that. Thank you." Yeah, good. At this point, the two of them come walking back in. You don't notice anything different.
Wait, can we roll back just like a second or two?
You can roll back just for a second, too.
Yeah.
Can I knock and come in?
Oh,
Can
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Roland will
Alright.
come over
Come in.
and come get you.
Oh, okay, thank you. That feels good. Alright, I've evolved some narrative.
Do we need to keep up the vampire trope of having to drink the vampire giver's blood to break free of it? So, like, in Roland's case, like, he is the spawn of
Derek.
Derek. But now, if Derek willingly gives blood of his own to Roland, then he breaks free of being this vampire spawn.
You could ask him. I'm not going to give out lore details. Just all willy-nilly.
Yeah, I would ask Derek, can I, am I bound? Well, I think I would have asked that beforehand, though. Am I bound to you for this?
Derek would say, "You are not bound to me in the typical sense. This is just a transfer of some of my powers to you through extreme means.
So
Melkor is still your patron. Melkor is still the person, or I guess the vampire that you would be sent to, I guess.
So I don't need the blood of you to break this blood ritual.
I don't know.
Well, can you stop or summon a vial for me and I could figure that out later?
Make a persuasion check.
That is smart.
Of which I promise none will go to Roland because I'm greedy. I know how it works. Persuasion. A 15.
He goes, while I cannot give you some of my blood at the moment, if there was a reason why you would want to get out of this, you can always come back.
That's acceptable.
Shall we?
Yes.
And
Wait,
they
12
come
more
back.
things? No, I'm kidding.
Derek looks over at Roland and he goes, Roland, have you been entertaining our guests? I know that this is a lot of people for you. You're not used to it. Roland goes, yes, sir. I brought them out some water and I listened to some funny jokes. All is well. It's fine. Derek goes, good. Gentlemen, if you shall excuse me, I'm out for a hunt. If you need anything from me, please direct all your questions to Roland. Is it? It's always a pleasure. Is it? Nods. And he goes, gentlemen, you may leave whenever you deem it necessary. I shall see you around. And he looks over at Roy and he goes, all works out. You're welcome. If it doesn't, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
He steps out. Roland sees him close the door. You hear a quick of bat wings going.
That was a good Batwing sound.
And he goes, and I am stuck here. I'm sorry to ask of this, but could you let Nova know that I'm okay? Next time you see him.
I think we can definitely do that. Absolutely.
And don't let them know that I'm this. Please.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there something that we could say or give them or do for them to reassure them that we definitely spoke to the real Roland?
He looks down for a second. He goes, let me think. There's a note somewhere. And he gets up and he starts rummaging through this, and you start hearing like drawers move and stuff like that. And he comes back out. He goes, this is a sealed letter that I wrote right when it happened. Please don't open it. But I want you to give this to Anais and see what she says. This should say that I'm okay.
I take the note and I say, well, as the most trustworthy one of our whole group, I will definitely take this and make sure that nothing happens to it. And I take out my book and I actually put it into my book and close it in my book. And then put it back on my side.
He goes, I would be greatly in your debt if you would to pass that along.
The letter
Absolutely.
doesn't burst into flames, does it? Because last time I saw something come into contact with the book, it was Dewey's hand, I think.
I don't think you should put it in there. Shake my hand.
All right. You know what? Yeah, that's a good point. And then I put it in like a bag.
All right, and then that should be in your inventory. As it goes, well, do we have anything else that we need to do?
Yeah, I'm a little famished, boys. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little tired, boys. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
Well, we
that's
have
true.
a-
We have to have a victory feast now. Roland, it's been an experience. Thank you for the invite. Maybe next time we see you, you'll play some Houses and Humans with us.
I've, I've never played, but I've heard that it's fun. Thank you. I would definitely give it a shot. And you guys head out?
Head out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Izzet will turn back into his dragon form and fly you guys back down to his village.
I'd like to get Dewey aside for a moment, if we could.
Who?
Mm-hmm.
Dewey,
Okay.
hey buddy.
What's going on, Roy? I was out for a little bit of it. I saw you went in the room with that other guy. How you?
Maybe we
everything
could-
going well?
Walk a little bit closer to like the distillery area. Do they still have the asp kiss like flowing out of the distillery stuff?
You can ask somebody that's in there, and you can get a cup. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to get a cup for me and for Dewey.
As we're like pouring it, Dewey leaves over. He's like, Roy, I think I know what happened. There were 5 vials, and 3 of them were gone, and there are only 2 left, but I only found 1 vial. I think.
Yeah, hang
I
on, Dewey.
think
My neck's
Orlando-
killing me.
He throws it in. I think he put the ass kiss and the poison and the whatever he did there. That must have been it.
What, you had it? Wait, what?
What if it's in the poison he tried to feed me? The ass kiss.
Oh, well, we figured out what that was, though. You're
It's
fine.
true. It was some illusion thing. But
Yeah, man, you
what
could have
he
been
poured some
toasted a
into-
month from
okay,
now.
never mind. Yeah. It's never mind. I'm just wondering where the last vial went.
Oh, well,
All right, what's going on?
Is it crushed one? I don't know. Maybe it's still out there. That's the problem.
Maybe.
It could be in the hands of Graf. Who knows? That's why we need to let the prince know. That
Right, the prince of
Prince of Aetheria,
which- Aetheria, the whole
the whole continent,
princedom.
I believe.
Yep.
The whole
Is
princedom.
he-
The whole dang
the whole
show.
princedom.
The fiefdom.
All right.
Dewey, I'm pulling you aside because I'm hoping that you can help me out. First off, I am peaked. I am very hurt.
Yeah.
I was hoping maybe you could heal up a bit, but using your natural divine ways, I need to tell you something.
What do you mean?
I was given power from Derek the vampire in the form
you've been given a lot of things.
of a bite right here.
Do you think you got rabies?
I don't think I got rabies. But I was hoping maybe you could take a look at it and see if it needs any healing. Is it pussy or anything like that? I need to keep an eye on it for a few days. I'm supposed to be given the power of the vampire, but things could go south right quick.
Realization clicks into his head, and he just like gives you a head tilt. He's like, did he drink your blood? Did he?
Well, he bit
What
me. I
happened?
didn't feel any drinking, but I did get the bite. Did I feel the drinking, DM? Or did I just get bit? It's like I didn't inhale, like...
There was a little bit of drinking involved.
Yeah, okay. So yes, I've encountered a blood ritual with a vampire.
Oh my God, dude! He puts his hands on his head. Why did you do that?
Because I
Why would you
need
do
to. For my patron's sake and for mine, too. I need this power.
Oh, I have so many questions.
It's the
Oh,
it's
did
the
you,
mark of the Eldritch Arts, my friend.
oh,
The
man,
further
do you think I
pursuit
can
of
even
knowledge.
Heal you? Do you think I can even heal you anymore?
Well, maybe just the bite part, but not the I could turn into a vampire part. That part I'm fully prepared for.
What if holy energy can't heal? Necrotic bean.
Well, then you still have that poison vial, right? I'll just drink that.
Oh my God!
Just
I
end
need
it.
to go to my books. Okay, I have other questions too.
Shit, man.
When-
Maybe I
when he
should have pulled
drank
his
the
ass
blood, did
aside.
it-
He would have understood.
did the fangs, were they like straws? Were they hollow?
Straws? I don't know. They just
They
bit.
suck out the blood.
It hurt a lot. Oh yeah, there was a little bit of blood dripping
Can,
from them.
can you turn into a bat like the books say?
Hold on, let me try. I try to turn into
you-
a bat.
Your dragon wings pop out.
Oh, all right. I'm halfway there.
I don't know what this counts as. All right, let me take a look. I'm gonna cast
Good night,
identify
guys.
at least on him and see if he's affected by something.
Oh,
Oh.
Aww.
that's so nice.
I'm gonna cast this just to see, because any spells that are currently affecting it, see if there's something around the magic imbued thing. Aww.
Dang. that
Sorry,
was
we have a vampire in
And then there's
training
like,
here that
I'll
just
just
needed a
generally
wave.
look at it too as like a medical guy and see if there's.
I
I
would,
figured Dewey could, patch
so
put a band-aid on it
identify?
or a poultice or something.
yeah. So with identify, nothing is like magically imbued in him. You don't get any sense of like a spell that's affecting him or anything like that. But go ahead and make a medicine check.
Medicine. Can you like lift your arm and stuff? I need a little bit more. Oh,
Oh, you should have went with the other roll.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I give you
there-
advantage on medicine checks because of some No, I'm
I did
kidding.
that.
For some reason. So you see 2 holes in his neck.
It's weird that it's.
They
not
hurt
really
for a
the-
minute, but now they're just kind of itchy.
Does it hurt if I just poke it?
Oh
Poke one?
God, Dewey,
Oh, sorry.
is it
I turn
bleeding?
to Henrik and I'm like, what do you think they're doing over there?
It's all a bit much for me.
I thought maybe you had like a
Yeah,
a
you guys are just
bandage.
seeing like Dewey poke at his neck. You're
All
like,
right,
this is
so-
weird.
A
I mean, oh, sorry.
bandage
I
or
do have
something.
a here. I
or-
take out a band-aid and I start wrapping the band-aid.
I
on.
thought
It
you were
looks
like
I'm
a
strangling
doctor
it.
or something like that, Doctor
I'm
Dewey.
not a conventional. I'm like a war doctor. I don't know all the stuff. I'm used to using leaves and.
Dewey's
mud.
a
I have
holistic
bandages.
doctor.
Let me go into my bag and I pull out sort of thing. I'll pull out some like generally good-looking bandages and we'll wrap it around. It's like a weird collar, like a little web choker from a
Yeah.
on top. of it or something.
Azazel and Henrik are just seeing Dewey make Roy into a mummy, pretty much. As he's just like rolling him around in like essentially toilet paper.
Hey,
around his neck.
everything all right over there?
It's like, yeah, just like the thumbs up from the distance.
Now, Roy, I can, in terms of your other injuries and what, I'm gonna do a prayer later. We can try to heal that way generally too, but I don't know if you ever want to do a test. If you want to like test how do you react to different energies? I know one spell that has divine power, and then you know that other spell I have where you can hear the gong bell. That's got some more
Oh
vampiric
yeah.
elements too. If you're feeling good, I can like do a little baby dose of those maybe.
Yeah,
And not
well,
fire like a full effect at it, but we can like test it out and stuff. Remember
Yeah,
how
the
you're
only-
trying to catch that arrow?
the only thing that hurts right now is the part where you're jamming your finger into my neck, but otherwise I'm pretty
yeah,
good.
I regret doing that. I'm gonna throw
That's okay.
a level 1 cure wounds.
Okay.
Alright,
Roll it.
I'll throw a level 1 cure wounds.
roll, you take 12 damage.
6,
Roy,
10 of
10.
healing. It's healing damage.
healing. You feel that sharp pain in your neck from where he was poking dissipate a little bit. You are still healed.
Okay. I do
Alright,
feel
so
a little
that
bit
works.
better knowing that. Yeah, so that's good to know.
Yeah, that's all right.
I need to keep an eye on it for the next forever. But if you could just check in every once in a while and see if it's glowing a certain color or if I get some gnarly teeth going on, Nosferatu
You know,
style.
You're free to live your life, but I will be watching you. to
Please,
see further
I
development.
will say this, Dewey. Please do, because what I was promised is, I'm rolling the dice here. I'm Mr. Gambler. So I took a chance here. Either I get the power of the vampire or I succumb. And if I succumb, then I might have to stake me. I don't know.
You know, how do you want to go?
Preferably quick and right through the heart.
All right, I'll do my best. What kind of steak you want?
Wood.
Wood? All right.
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
Oh, we can do this. I pulled out like a tiny vial of holy water. Can you touch the bottle?
Sure, yeah. I've broken a lot recently, but I'll grab the bottle.
You can touch the bottle.
Ah! Oh, just kidding.
Oh,
Gotcha. It's fine.
All
It's
right.
just water.
Okay. It's holy water.
Oh, well, yeah. It's
It
holy
doesn't
water.
burn you? Do like a little dab on your finger, see if it burns you.
I'm fine, right?
It's warm to the touch.
It's warm to the touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
All right.
it. It's
All right,
normal,
well,
right? It's been in your pocket, right? It's hot out here.
Yeah. Dewey, he reaches his shoulder on you awkwardly. He's like, I before I met you, I didn't know how to react to people of your kind, and whether that's dragon or vampire. So I'm trying to keep an open mind. And I think you're a good guy, Roy. You have a lot of positive qualities, and we'll get through this. I'm sure we'll get through this.
I think we will.
All right, bless your heart. Let's get other things.
All right. I'll grab another asp kiss on the way out and chat it up with the gang. I do want to let them know about this recent upbringing thing. I don't know if anyone wanted to chime in on that too.
Yeah, so have you guys come back?
Yeah, we came back. So guys, I'm a vampire, by the way.
Excuse you?
You know, I got
Are you-
the bite from Derek and vampire
Okay.
powers and all that.
Like, why did we like? All right, hold on, wait. Define. What do you do now? What are your powers?
They've yet to do much, but in the coming weeks they could either be, super great powerful vampire powers without the drawbacks, or I could be undead.
Uh huh.
Right
Really?
now, all
Maybe
I've got is
somewhere in
flesh
between.
wounds.
Really
Yeah.
rolling the dice on this one, huh?
I
Rolling. Good
am
joke.
rolling the dice, yeah. I'm rolling the dice. That's who I am.
Well, I was beginning to like the solitude of being the only one awake at night, but it'll be nice to be hanging out with you, Roy.
I still
They
think
don't
I'd
sleep,
sleep,
right?
but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know how that'll work.
Oh my God, travel's gonna be a bitch.
That would be a pain, yeah. Uh-oh. I made a
Well-
huge little mistake. You know what I'm
Heinrich,
talking
we're
about
gonna
there,
have to
Slick,
become
right?
nocturnal.
I'm like halfway there already. It's
We'll
Oh.
have nighttime adventures under the moon.
Are you gonna need a cloak? And I look at the cloak and I'm like,
Oh. But I could just... Maybe I could just wear your old one.
Wait, does that cloak, by the way, the cloak from Orlando, does that do anything? Have we like?
He doesn't do
Let's
anything.
check that out later tonight when everybody's sleeping. I'll stay up a little bit with you.
All right,
Yeah.
I'd appreciate that. Sure.
I got a bottle of the juice I'd like you to check out, too. It's one bottle of the potion.
All right, I can
So-
do that.
It puts on a nice feast with music playing for you guys, and eventually you guys make it your way back to the house that you have been staying at. If there's anything else that you want to do before sleepy time, now would be the time.
All right, one is prayer of healing. I gotta get these guys back up a little bit. Then you don't have
They
to
would-
use.
Well, we
We'll
sleep,
come back
though.
for the long rest anyway.
Oh, okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. So then I guess I have three things to identify. I have the 2 potions. I have Azazel's cloak. which is Orlando's bow.
Still
and
peeking
I'm
at
gonna
that
look the
pyramid every once in a while?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight. That's my third.
Okay. So you were able to find 3 potions, actually.
Oh, we'll look at all 3 of them.
Yep. 2 of them are potions of poison resistance. They will be.
Vive la resistance.
That will be your thing. One is a regular potion of lesser healing.
Is that 2d4 plus 2?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Healing yourself as a bonus action or healing someone else as an action. Should already be in your thing. And then the cloak. Cloak is going to be
It's the
given to
cloak
you
of
right now.
vampirism.
Just as a heads up with this cloak, and I'm actually going to edit it so that it says it. Parts of it are singed, so the magic is not working in it right now. You're going to have to get it magically repaired somehow in order for it to have this benefit to it.
Damn. There's still magic in it, Azazel. It's broken. We need to see a magical tailor.
Oh, that's okay. Right now,
It's not okay.
Okay.
There aren't that many around. We can try.
I just like the orange colors.
What about that
Oh.
dude that we ran
Green.
into on the
The
boat? Or maybe Corlin.
The wizard?
Corlin could probably fix it.
Does anybody know mending? That's probably
Nah.
not this.
I feel like we should be asking you that. Is it
look
might?
at the
I don't know.
non-spellcaster.
Is it a treasure trove of
Is it? Do you
Thanks.
know any magical tailors nearby? Derek seemed like he had good garbs.
Do I look like I know some magical tailors? And he's like, got garments that look almost like the roofs of the houses. They're like very mediocre stuff.
worth a shot?
You look great. We'll find somebody. I'm sure we'll
Figure
find
it
somebody.
out.
Pyramid. The pyramid. Let me grab that super quick.
This
So-
required a check.
Yes, last time I did. So go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Money, big money, big money.
Okay. You can tell that there is a large spell stored in this pyramid.
Cool.
But you can't tell what spell it is, what kind of class spell it is. You would need to roll higher later on.
Well, I already know it's conjuration based, but
Right, because you got that last time.
at least the spell is still there. Is it? It's.
It's still dormant.
I don't know what this is. Put it away.
So if there's anything else that you guys need to do, we can go to bed.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's time to feast and go to bed.
All right. Kevin, are you there? Kevin is not there. I'm gonna wait for this. There he is. Roy, was there anything else that you wanted to do prior to going to bed?
Sorry, gang. No, I wanted to grab a beer before I went to bed. No, I don't really think there's anything else I would need to do. I do have one spell slot open, so I could banish someone if they want to see what it feels like to go to another plane of existence. You want to go to Mars, man?
You think you can banish me? No, you couldn't.
I mean,
I could
it'd be
resist
really
that
easy.
shit. I could.
Oh,
do
you could
it.
resist it, yeah.
I could resist it. Do your worst, Roy.
I mean, I could send Dewey to like the plane of flowers and fun.
Do you get to pick which plane you send to?
Oh no, I don't. It's a harmless demi-plane though.
There's a
Yes.
plane of flowers and fun?
And Dewey might end up there, or you might. I don't know.
I want to go see.
All right, I'll try to shoot Dewey off into the realm of wherever.
All right, what's my roll? Wisdom?
Uh,
Charisma. Oh,
I
God.
think it's charisma save.
Charisma saving throw?
Yep. you fucked around,
Charisma
and
saving
now you're
throw.
about to find out.
Yeah. No, you
Oh
fail.
my god. There's
So-
no way.
So, Roy, constantly you're just like, I don't want to send you there, and Dewey's like, no, do it, you won't, and you just go, okay, and you snap your finger, and you just see him gone. For the next minute, you're just like, okay. Dewey, you see just gray and purples everywhere surrounding you. You're not on solid ground, you're kind of just floating in space. But the more you look around, these swirls are just getting larger and larger. They feel like they're enveloping you, but it's not hurtful. It doesn't. You don't feel
Doesn't
pain
do
here.
anything.
You're just kind of in space. You're kind of like doing front flips, and you're like, well, shit.
All right, guys. Now we have a minute that we can mess with him before he shows up. So, Azazel, you want to drop a bonfire? We could shoot some sparks, or Henrik, you could put something on the ground so he trips. I don't know. Prank him
I
real
know what I'll
good.
do. I'll make us all look like gnomes, and we'll make him feel like he got taken off to the gnome village.
Oh my gosh! Yes, make us gnomes.
And I make
I,
us all.
I don't
look
want to
like
be a
gnomes.
gnome.
Can I do
I
that?
don't want to.
Can you disguise me as a gnome? Oh wait, I could make a silent image of gnomes around us too. Let's all go away and we'll make the gnomes, and then you could thaumaturgy gnome voices from one of the gnomes.
Have we ever? I don't think we've ever met a gnome so far.
Just
Have
try
we?
your. I'll just try my best.
I'm a gnome. Wait, I have an idea. Yeah. I have an idea.
All right, quick, everybody bail. Let's hide behind
Um,
this house
So it looks like you can only make one gnome per
with silent image. Ah, shoot! All right,
Yeah.
we'll make one gnome.
However,
Wait,
it is
Zazzle
no
could be a
larger-
gnome. He
It's
could.
no larger than a 15-foot cube, so you can make a big ass fucking gnome.
Oh man, how about I make one big gnome and Azazel, you're just a gnome too. Alright, I'm making a big gnome right here. For when
Okay.
Dewey comes back. Azazel, the rest is
So-
in your capable hands.
And you guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we're gonna get a sound filter here.
Oh, you know it.
So as soon as you cast Silent Image, Roy, the banishment stops.
Oh, it
because it's
does.
full
Yeah, that's right.
concentration. Yeah. So, Dewey, you come back, and you see this gigantic gnome just towering over you.
I'm finally no. Take a step back. How long was I gone? I look over there. Is it?
And that is your guys' night of laughing
Oh, Dewey, we
at
got
a
you!
gigantic gnome coming out and scaring the poop out of Dewey.
I bet the gnome looked really bad too. Like it was like half dragonborn
Yeah, it
gnome.
wasn't the best.
He's got like scales.
So you guys get your
We like
long
to have fun.
rest.
I want to write down,
Roy,
Dewey, everything that you tell me about this demi-plane. I'm very interested in it. I want to write all of it down.
As I start telling you about it, I speak backwards a couple of times, like the sentence backwards, but I don't realize it, so you have to stop me.
Yeah.
And-
Dewey, in
and
common, in
back to
common.
it. But I tell you about the purples and the purples and grays and the swirling and how all the swirls got closer, but they got farther away at the same time.
All right. It's good banishment talk here.
Roy, throughout the night, the heat from the two bite marks get more and more hot.
Oh.
You don't have a very restful sleep, and you sort of wake up next morning feeling that your bite line, your jaw is off a little bit. And you kind of bring your fingers instinctually to your mouth, and your canines are like 2 to 3 times the size that they once were.
Oh boy.
And if you look into your sheet, you
Uh-oh.
should see something.
Hey, cool, a map of Aetheria. It's me, Roy. Character sheet.
No, it's
Man,
gonna-
there's so many things. I don't know what I'm looking for.
It's not in your character sheet. It's
Oh, in my
gonna-
inventory?
yeah.
Oh, here we go. Oh, I've been spelled Derek wrong. Pressure your life force from others. Oh. Oh. Oh, cool. Hey, you even thought of that thing too. All right, my guy. Nice. Once per
you
short or
guys-
long rest. All right, cool.
As you guys are stirring awake, you hear a knock at your door. And as it comes in, and he goes, guys, you have a visitor?
What?
And you hear this huge caw. Like, "Ah!" Come through. And you hear a voice in the background go, would you just sit down? Sit. Good. Stay. Stay. Good boy. Who's a good boy? Eric. You guys step out. You see a decently sized griffin with
Oh.
a dwarf druid
Oh,
like,
Felix.
trying to teach it commands, sitting down next to him, and he goes, "You know what? We'll try again tomorrow. It's fine, boys." And I'm sorry. I've never met you before. My name's Felix, and you are.
Dewey, pleasure.
There's just all mine. Boys, I don't know how to put this, but you're kind of in deep shit.
We are?
Aren't we always?
I
And
barely
he-
know these guys.
For the amount of time you've known us, Dewey, I think we've always been rolling in it at least.
He
Oh my god, it's Felix.
Felix,
goes over to you guys.
he's got a quick
and he gives
question.
you guys a letter,
Oh boy.
and the letter is in your guys' inventory if you wanted to read it.
Oh boy.
Boy is
Oh, no.
right.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, this is definitely something we haven't. Oh,
Oh,
Oh man,
criminy.
looks like you guys are in some real deep shit.
You are you
And
thinking about turning us in, my friend?
I'm gonna leave it here.
Azazel, I've got the best idea. We disguise Dewey as you, send him in, collect the 10,000 gold, and then Dewey turns back into himself and is like, "Here, let my guys out of here." And
you
then,
joke? But I can feign death.
Yeah, let's do it. Next time.
Zazzle just sees like his eyes just turn into gold pieces.
I think we can make a lot of money off of this. But holy crap, Aetheria wants us dead.
The world. The
The
world.
The
Oh,
whole
continent.
world wants us dead. Every poster. Do they have our faces on the poster? How do I look?
You see a very crudely drawn young dragonborn. The nose is a little bit off.
Oh,
but
they
you
didn't
can
get my
kinda tell
beard
that
in
it's you.
there.
Henrik, your hair is shorter than what it should be, and Azazel, your horns are missing.
Oh, I.
You can still tell that it's a tiefling, but it's just like, oh, they kind of forgot the horns.
I don't know, guys. From this picture, maybe they won't even know it's us.
Has there been a dove sighting recently? I guess not, right?
A dove sighting?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They put Alma on here too.
Yeah, it's a problem.
That's not good.
But I'm gonna end it here because I think that this is nice, and we'll see how it goes next
This is
time.
great. We're wanted.
Very
Nice.
good, like cliffhanger. I love this.
When I'm
It's
just
good.
thinking that we're in like an amnesty area where we could be like, let's go clean up all of our quests and like cash it all in, talk to Nova, maybe go see a Corvon, check out Eden or something like that. I don't know.
You get thrown
Once
into
again,
this shit.
Once again, Greg, you keep
Beautiful
us on the
That was a fun
toes.
one.
I don't know what to do now. I'm a vampire.
You had to think about that for a second. And then
I
you were like,
still
"Okay,
am.
Let's see what happens."
I am. It says too right here that Roy has a gambling problem, and gambling on life and death is one of the biggest thrills you could possibly get. So
Hmm.
I was because I was like, oh,
Gonna
we
roll
haven't seen Felix in so long.
I like Felix. I think Felix is a cool character.
It's got a cool ride.
So,
And this is the Griffin from Corvanus.
oh, this is the Griffin from.
This is his
Alpha.
Griffin, right? Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
I ended up giving that to Corvan, or to Hector. The egg.
No, the egg you guys
Oh.
left with Felix.
Didn't we kill the Griffin there? Oh no, we
You
did leave it
killed
with
it.
Felix.
Yeah, you left it with Felix.
Oh yeah.
Henrik gave the egg over.
Oh my god, dude.
Wait, I thought I
so
gave it to
cute.
Hector.
No, you gave it to Felix.
Oh, I wrote it all down wrong.
I
Oops.
think you gave something to Hector, but it wasn't the egg.
I forget now. I thought I
Matt,
took it
who's
with us
Alma?
through Dane.
Alma was the
Yeah, whatever.
Henrik's little sister.
Oh.
That Azazel has a crush on.
Yes.
Oh.
And I gave we gave some magical cloak to her, Greg, right? Didn't I?
Yeah, you gave the Cloak of Displacement to her. So it's a
Yes,
plus,
I did.
it's a
Wait.
+1 to AC and all of her saving throws.
Solid.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's a good cloak.
Right?
We're in need of cloaks too. Yeah.
I got some inspiration for that one.
Yes, you did.
I have my inspiration too. I still have.
Save it.
Can I bank on that for a while?
Yeah.
Does it run away?
No, just write in your character sheet D4 inspiration, I guess.
Yeah, and you can check the inspiration dragon token thing in roll 20. May to remind you that you have it.
What?
Go
Above
into your character sheet.
bonus, there's a toggleable for inspiration.
It's funny. It's right there. Oh, right. Cool. I've never done that before. I
That's
remember having
fun.
that on the character sheet, like, for an eternity, and I've never done that.
I know. I this session, I had all my gold in features and traits, and I looked like slightly to the left of that, and I'm like, there's literally like little placeholders for gold,
For the gold?
silver.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
At the
Yeah.
top, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, you guys
Got a
made
lot
a
done
pact with the
today.
vampire.
We did a lot of stuff today.
Was I wrong,
Everything
guys?
went well.
Was I wrong? Come on,
No.
it's
I
so
mean,
cool.
there's only
No.
one way to know.
It's so
Yeah.
cool, Like, how could I avoid that?
Hey,
You have to.
all I do is I throw the cast out and see if you bite.
And
Oh,
I
he did.
chomped down pretty hard.
Get chomped down.
I mean, Greg was pretty much like, "Do you want to be Christopher Lee? One of your favorite vampire guys, like ever, Or heck, maybe I'll turn into Luke Evans or something like that. That'd be great.
yeah,
Dracula Untold. It was a good movie.
it was more so like.
This was
I
the
like,
logical step.
yeah, I think so. Like, people might see you differently, but I mean, we'll see.
Well, everyone here seemed to take it pretty well, which is nice.
Well, I mean, you step outside into the sunlight and it doesn't hurt you yet, so
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
there.
we'll see.
Who is this ragtag bunch to judge anybody?
that's very true.
Yeah, that's
Right,
true.
Exactly.
But I do like that we didn't have to have like a 30-minute deal about like the moral implications of being a vampire. It's like, it's just effing cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a
No,
vampire.
gnomes are probably, if there was a gnome in the party, they'd probably institute that kind of.
Yeah, like Barnabas.
Yeah, right.
Remember Barnabas, the gnome?
Barnabas was a pain in my rear.
Yeah, he died pretty quick.
Wait, you have seen a gnome in the park?
Not here, but way back.
Seen a
Yeah,
gnome, yeah.
Barnabas is history, if you know what I mean. Dude's toast.
All right.
Very nice.
All right, good session.
Yeah,
that
as
was fun.
always, Greg. Thank you. That was
That was
great.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
awesome.
that-
It's
yeah,
funny
a bunch of
when
planned-
like we get through an entire session and it's like, we didn't fight anything,
it-
No, we didn't.
but it's like I don't care.
I didn't even think about that.
Like usually
No,
it's like
you
where's
guys-
because D&D is
you
based
guys,
there's
like,
so
took
much
the
about the
reins.
combat.
Yeah.
Like rules for social interactions are very minimal, and it's like I had way more fun doing that. Like it was really
But
fun.
you guys took the reins when necessary, and you split it up amongst yourselves, and you guys like took a step back when you needed to. So it felt very fluid.
Yeah, I think we all got
That
a
was
lot
good.
in. There's a lot of Roy stuff going on, but I think we got through that pretty quick.
Well, everybody.
I try not to make it about one specific person for a long period of time, especially during one session.
Good, it makes me
So, like,
sweaty.
But yeah, like there could be like a whole arc dedicated to one person, but I'll still delegate specific amounts of time to everybody, so that people aren't bored throughout the whole day.
Yeah. We have a lot too that we need to like cash in on too. Although now it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Like we have Eden on the map for the pyramid. We have Bravenport. We got to cash in with Nova and chat with him. There's Lolth in the Underdark that's swarming around and plotting against Corvanus.
Well, that
And
would
then-
definitely have to go back to Nova because of the Roland letter.
Yeah. And like tell him like, hey, like your port is good now. Like everyone is saved. Please get
That's
us
it.
off the wanted posters. Actually, Nova could probably help us get off the wanted posters a little bit, at least in Bravenport.
Right.
Nova. All right, yeah, I was gonna say Nova is gonna get us off of the church one.
Yeah, well, yeah, like
You're right.
now-
maybe
now we
there.
have Graph
Maybe
to
in the
worry
one
about again too,
Yeah,
which we've
Graph
kind of
and
been under
Ave.
the radar a little bit, but now it's like Graph is gonna come for us, and
Well, yeah, think about it. When we started this Roll20 thing, you guys were already out to sea, so you haven't been on the mainland this entire time.
So
yeah,
yeah, we.
yeah.
So as a bit of
So, like,
backstory,
in
we
Dayan-
killed the doppelganger, and
Mhm.
Dan spun that pretty
we-
quick.
escaped essentially because it was like this small scale. They were coming after us.
We were like
escaped
hanging out in the town too, that night
Yeah,
too. We murdered them and like, let's go back to the hotel.
Yeah, Dewey, or Dean.
What's
So-
that, Mr. DM?
They go down into an underground library and they kill who they think is Graf, but it turns out to be a doppelganger. And there's two people that they kept alive, and they ran out, and they spread the news that hey, they just assassinated the high church elder of the Church of Ethos. So they
So we
got
hit the
ran
bar.
out of town. Yeah, and meanwhile they're carrying a dead uncle of Roy
That's right, yeah.
into a hotel room. It's like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
This was
Actually,
in
just
Ave?
a dead guy.
No, this was in Dayan.
This was
One.
in
We're not wanted in Dayan anymore.
You wanted
we
everywhere.
fled. Yeah, we
I
are.
wonder what Graf's doing in Ave then. Is he
We're not
still-
only wanted in today.
Yeah.
Dayan has a large church community. Like there's a whole row of churches, like church after church after church, in Dayan. But
Yeah.
since Dayan and Ave are on two separate ends of the continent, Ave is where like the Church of Ethos was started, but then they have like an annex position in Dayan.
Oh, it's the main branch, not the regional
main- yeah.
branch. Yeah.
Can you
Main
do us a
brand
favor,
of
Greg,
corporate.
really quick? Can you pull the map up?
I can. If you just give me 1 second, because I gotta change something.
I'm curious about something too. Where is
There's
the
a map
capital?
of Aetheria in our handouts.
Oh yeah, I got this too. That I can bring you guys to.
There we go.
Oh, cool.
Where is like the king?
Ave.
The king is in Ave. Okay.
Ave sounds like the place to be, but where does
Yeah,
we're
like
close to Bravenport.
we have to,
That's the person, the letter we have to deliver, right? Here.
we have the letter. We got to talk to Nova.
I mean, we're close. We're probably never going to be closer than we are now, so it'd be
Yeah.
smart to do.
We got to do stuff there, and
You know where we haven't been in a long time?
Eves.
The Roca Academy. I
yeah,
think
we
we've
haven't
never
been there. We've
to
been there like
Eaton.
we went there once, and then that was it. We've been to Tram twice, because the Dragonborn village I think is like right over here.
Yeah, it's right about here.
Yeah, and then we fled Dayan, went there, and then we traveled south, and then ended up in Tram again, where we convinced Henrik to not steal. And then we went back to Bravenport, and then
In fact, I did steal, was convinced, and then returned the stolen items.
yes,
Because you were like,
All,
I want to get better
reverse
weapons later on.
all
Yeah.
without being seen, by the way.
that's right.
Yes.
You were pretty good. That was a
Do we know what
fun
this island
stealing
is?
sequence.
No, you guys don't know what that.
I thought
island
we
is.
went there.
You
I
do
thought
know-
that was the world where we got the area where we got the pyramid.
No, that was over here, like off the map west.
Oh. Ooh.
But you do know that this island is called Phoenicius.
Oh, I've written
Okay.
Phoenicius in the notes, and I could have sworn that Phoenicius was where we went to, but then we named it something else, and I thought I was just a fool.
Hangman's Page. That's what it was
Hangman's
called.
Page, yes.
Yeah,
River
this is
Rune.
like a city center, so maybe we hang out. Maybe we go west and then up to Tram.
West
Down
seems to be the safest areas that we could be in.
Mhm.
Like
Say,
Bravenport,
'cause
we
all
could
this
probably
stuff
sneak
is
in.
happening over here.
Tram, we could sneak in. And Corvanus over here, we can be relatively under the radar.
Has anybody ever been here? This seems like a spot that would
No.
have treasure.
No.
We
No.
haven't been anywhere close to the.
They haven't been
Yeah, we've just
anywhere
been on-
east of these mountains.
Yeah, we've just been on the west side. Yeah, we've only been on the west side
Wait,
of
you've
the
never
world.
been to Abe?
No.
I'm the only
Well,
one.
well, Henrik
I'm
has.
there, but like as far as the campaign goes, we have never been there.
Oh, I see.
And I've only ever really been on the west side. West side?
Say, everyone.
Because
It's yeah.
so the original character backstory for me was that I killed some rando and disguised him as myself and left him in the church and then bailed with my sister.
Dude, that's awesome. I never knew that. I kind of wondered.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So that's why everyone thinks Henrik is gone.
Yeah,
so-
until they see me and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's back.
That's great.
Well,
That's awesome.
Especially now that the wanted poster has your name on it.
Yeah, no, that's a problem.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fine.
true. First and last, too.
Maybe we should have fake names. I think.
All right, Kevin Carrick.
So,
Kevin Carrock.
So-
Nick.
your guys' plan for next time is to try to get to Bravenport?
I think
I
that's.
think Bravenport's where we're headed, right?
good
Yeah, because
spot.
we're along these mountains right now. Like this wouldn't be a burdenous. Like if the pterodactyls fly us from here to here, that might not be impossible. They just drop us off to the other side of the mountains. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Bravenport's where we're headed. We need to tie up
So we
some
have
loose ends.
transportation troubles. Yeah.
Okay.
After that, I don't know. We could figure that out. Maybe we could figure that
Oh,
out
yeah.
offline.
It-
I don't think we need to.
It sounds like a
deliberate
lot of
that
stuff
here.
going on in the Bay. That might be the next stop after that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's. Yeah.
It's
I-
more so of me putting the maps together. So if you guys
Right.
are going to go to Bravenport, I can get that set up so that we're good to go.
I
Yeah.
think that's probably the first move.
Bravenport's
Um,
first. Maybe Tram after that.
I don't know if that's like a full session depending on how you plan it out or whatever, but that's probably the first stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
actually, I
think-
did have more planned for this one, but I
Okay.
didn't get to it, so that's fine.
So yeah, let's.
At least I can get the map set up.
Yeah. If there's not a villain in Bravenport, you don't have to invent one for it. We could do.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I want to fight a
Like
villain.
I've got things for you guys to do at different places, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think
Do you want to
Bravenport.
see?
That's our spot.
Do you want to see the vampire again before you go? Before we try to go?
Vampire what?
Because it seems like there's a lot there. I guess we got all we needed from them, right? The vampires.
From
For
Derek, yeah. We may. I don't know. I might need to end up going back. Who knows?
Yes.
Maybe I could
think
have a
we-
pterodon whistle with me or something. And
Yes. And now, since I've met them, we can message them too if we need them.
oh, that's
Very
good
true.
to know.
Where is Phil's farm again? It's like in the middle of the map.
It's-
sort
it's
of,
like
It's somewhere
right-
over here, right?
No, I think it's
Phil,
it's in
it's right
between
outside of
Dan and
Corvallis.
yeah, it's like right
Okay.
there.
right before Birkenfeld. Okay.
Yeah, like Lolth, the Underdark Spider Queen lady person, Strider lady, is like plotting to take over the overworld. That's probably not good. Who knows? I don't know.
Could be better.
Spiders
Could be
hate
better.
light, though. Why does she want the overworld?
Because spiders, man. They
This is
show up right
spiders.
where you don't want them.
It's true.
They're terrible. They're terrible
All right,
people.
boys. That was fun.
Yeah,
That's-
thanks.
That was
Yeah,
great.
this is awesome.
All right. So we'll catch you guys next week if everybody is
All
great.
right.
Yeah,
See you later,
next
buddy.
week.
Alrighty.
That
That's it.
That's
sounds
so.
goody.
Bye, guys.
Next week's fine.
Later.
All right. Good night.
Later, Gators.
Good game, good game, good game. GG, well played.
GG, well played. Alright, that was fun. Let's whoop, let's find someone who is live. We could read. Like Locke.